Hi Lafayette third graders. This is Miss Clark and today we're going to talk about how to find the perimeter of a shape. What is perimeter? Perimeter is the distance around the outside of a figure or a shape. Well, how do we find the perimeter? Finding the perimeter is very easy. To find the perimeter, all we're going to do is add each side together. I have a square here and I see that each side is 4 centimeters long. To find the perimeter, I'm going to add each side together. I have 4 centimeters here, 4 centimeters here, and 4 centimeters here, and 4 centimeters here. When I add those 4 sides together, I get 16. It's very important that when we're finding perimeter that we don't forget to add the measurement. Since each side of the square was measured in centimeters, I need to make sure that my answer is also in centimeters as well. No matter the shape, you are always going to count the sides for the perimeter. In this triangle, I have 5 feet and 5 feet and 5 feet. When I add all 3 of those sides together, I get 15 feet. If each side is the same length on the shape, you can also skip count to figure out the sides. 5, 10, 15. Now sometimes you might have a shape that does not have the same length for each side, like my trapezoid here. If you have a shape like that, it's okay. We're still just going to count the sides and add them all together to figure out the perimeter. I have 4 inches plus 7 inches plus 4 inches plus 9 inches. And when I add those all together, I get 24 inches. Now sometimes you can get a shape like the star and it has a lot of sides to count. And sometimes it can get hard to keep track of all those sides. When I am counting the perimeter for a shape that has a lot of sides, I like to draw tick marks to help keep track of the sides that I have already counted. It's important that when we're counting all of these sides, we make sure that we don't count the same side twice or our answer will be wrong. I have 2 inches plus 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 2 inches and a final 2 inches. I used my tick marks so I made sure that I didn't count a side twice, and I also made sure that I counted every single side. Let's skip count by 2's to figure out what all of this is going to equal. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, and 20 inches. The perimeter of the star is 20 inches. Now, there might be some times where you have to estimate the sides to find the perimeter. When I have to estimate, I'm always going to have a key, so it's important to look there first. I see that one of these is going to equal 1 yard. Now I see that same image on the side of my pentagon here. When I'm looking, I see that I can probably fit about 2 of these on one side of my pentagon. Since I can count 2 of these on one side of the pentagon, that means that each side is going to be about 2 yards long. I have 2 here, 2 here, 2 here, and 2 here. When I add all of those sides up with 2 yards each, I get 2, 4, 6, 8, and about 10 yards for the perimeter of this pentagon. Now sometimes I can also see the shape inside of a grid. When I see a shape inside of a grid, I need to count all the lines on the grid that the shape is touching. And each line that I count will count as 1. Now, this can mean that there's going to be a lot of sides that we're going to count, so I need to make sure that I don't count the same side twice. I remember the strategy we used with my star earlier, so I'm going to use my tick marks to help me keep track of the sides that I've already counted and to make sure that I don't count the same side twice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. The perimeter of this rectangle is 14 centimeters. Let's try it with this shape. Don't forget to use the tick mark strategy to help us keep count of the sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. The perimeter of this shape is going to be 10 millimeters. Okay, third graders, let's get some practice in. What is the perimeter of this shape? Remember, perimeter means the distance around an object or shape. And to find the perimeter, we're just going to add the sides of the shape together. Go ahead and pause the video and add all the sides of the shape. When you have your answer, unpause to see if you are correct. Okay, third graders, you should have added 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 4 plus 4. When you add all of those sides together, you should have gotten 26 feet. Let's practice with this one. What is the perimeter of this shape? Now I see that this shape is in a grid, so it might be helpful for me to use my tick marks to help figure out the perimeter of this shape. Go ahead and pause the video and figure out what will the perimeter be. All right, I'm going to use my tick marks to help me figure this one out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, and 22. This shape is going to be 22 inches. What's the perimeter of this shape? Go ahead and pause the video to add all the sides together and figure out the perimeter. Okay, boys and girls, you should have added 9 plus 3 plus 3 plus 9 plus 3 plus 3. Now sometimes when you have a shape that has similar lengths for the sides, you can group those together and add them, and it's a little bit easier. So we can add 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3, and then 9 plus 9 together. And when we do that, we'll get 30 millimeters. All right, boys and girls, for this shape, I see that I have a key and that little bar again, so I know that I'm going to have to do some estimating. Go ahead and pause the video and estimate the perimeter of this shape. All right, so when I looked at my key, I can see that one of these bars equals 1 yard. When I look at this, I see that it only takes about half of this side, so I can probably fit 2 yards on each side of this shape. So I'll have 2, 4, 6, and 8. So the perimeter of this shape is about 8 yards. All right, let's do one more. Pause the video and add the sides together to figure out the perimeter of this shape. Okay, you should have done 6 plus 6 plus 3 plus 4 plus 3 plus 2. And when you added all of those together, you should have gotten 24 meters. Awesome job today, third graders. You're going to move on to the next activity and you're going to continue practicing finding the perimeter of different shapes. Remember all the tips, tricks, and strategies we reviewed in this video, and if you forget, you can always come back and look. All right, good luck and have fun.